Time Walk with me.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Time Walk with me. I am the Time Walker, and my two dogs, Amy and Izzy, say hello. Today we are taking a look at Havi the All-Father, or Havi the All-Father? I don't know, one of those two. He is a 6/6 god warrior that costs 3 generic, 1 red, 1 green, and 1 white mana to cast. If you have 4 or more artifacts, legends, and or sagas in your graveyard, he is indestructible. This is pretty cool, but I didn't really emphasize this ability in this deck. But still, if it helps you in a game, then it's good that it's there. Whenever Havi or another legendary creature you control dies, you get to put a legendary creature with lesser mana value in your graveyard on the battlefield tapped. This ability is cool because it only really requires you to have 1 legendary creature in your graveyard. No other creature in this deck has mana value as high or higher than Havi, so he'll be able to bring back anything by dying. This might come into play because the theme of this deck is equipment and legendary creatures. It contains 20 legendary creatures and 16 pieces of equipment. Once I saw how many red and white legendary creatures deal with equipment, this section was easy to fill out and narrow down. Arden, Intrepid Archaeologist. This is good if you decide to go Voltron, piling all of your equipment onto a single creature for free at the beginning of combat. Brunner Battlehammer, or Brunner Battlehammer, not Brunner Battlehammer, there's no comma there. He lets you equip 1 thing per turn for free. Danitha Capashen Paragon, or Capuchin, I don't know. These names. She gives you a discount on equipment spells. Danitha Benalia's Hope, that one's easier to pronounce. Not only is a 4/4 with so many keyword abilities for just 5 mostly generic mana a great deal, but if you have an expensive equipment in your hand or graveyard, she gets it onto the battlefield and equips it for no additional cost. Jolene, Plundering Pugilist. Jor-Kadeen, the Prevailer. This guy makes all your creatures a lot stronger as long as you control 3 or more artifacts, which you will because equipment. Cole the Forge Master. He makes your equipped tokens stronger and your equipped non-token creatures go to your hand instead of the graveyard if they die. Liberator, Urza's Battlethopter. This thing lets you flash in your equipment, though it doesn't let you equip them at instant speed. Still, not bad. Obun, Moldiah Ancestor. He doesn't do anything with equipment, he's just cool. Palukranos Reborn / Palukranos Engine of Ruin. Once you transform this Hydra, it becomes a pretty scary beast that explodes into 2/3/3 creatures if it dies. Its low mana cost means Havi will be able to bring it back afterwards pretty easily. Rayav Master Smith. He gives your equipped attackers double strike. Rocco Cabaretti Caterer. This is the commander of my landfall deck. He's cool because he lets you tutor for any creature by paying any colors of mana equal to its mana cost and put it on the battlefield. Samwise Gamgee. This guy supplements Havi by also returning legends to the battlefield, but he isn't restricted to creatures. He can bring back any artifact, legend, or saga. Selvala Explorer Returned. This is here for a bit of ramp, a bit of draw, a bit of life gain, and a bit of group hug. Sram Senior Edificer. This guy lets you draw when you cast an equipment. Tangarth First Mate, or Tongarth First Mate. This is a very unique card. He can only be blocked by 1 creature, and whenever he's tapped and an opponent attacks, you can lend Tangarth to them and he attacks one of the players or planeswalkers that player is attacking. It's the only way you could make one of your own creatures attack you. Tiana, Ship's Caretaker. Cole keeps your equipped creatures from going to the graveyard when they die, and this lady returns your equipment to your hand if they're destroyed. Tori de Avenant Fury Rider. This lady makes all your other attackers stronger and gives your other red attackers trample until end of turn and untaps your other white attackers. Tuya Bearclaw. This lady scales in strength with your board, gaining power and toughness equal to the power of your strongest creature when it attacks, and its low mana cost means Havi will be able to bring it back. And Wyleth, Soul of Steel. The more encumbered this guy is, the more he lets you draw when he attacks. Blazing Sunsteel. This is the sword Wyleth is holding. If you hurt the creature wielding it, it hurts something else. Bone Splitter. Brass Knuckles. This equipment copies itself so you can give double strike to up to 2 creatures. Cloudsteel Karen. This turns one of your creatures into a Platinum Angel, preventing you from losing the game and your opponents from winning the game until they come up with an answer or concede. Dragonwing Glider. When you cast this, you get a 2/2 Rebel that this attaches to, meaning it's basically a 4/4 flyer with haste for 5 mana, which is a great deal. Its equip cost is high if you want to move it somewhere else, but there are ways to get a discount on that. Gilded Pinions. Goldvein Pick. Hand of Vecna. Haunted Cloak. Crovad Haunch. The idea of whacking an opponent with food is a lot of fun, and if you decide to eat it, you can get some doggos. Loxodon Warhammer. Raven Wings. Rogue's Gloves. I like the idea of putting these on a creature that doesn't have hands or is super huge like Progenitus or Emrakul. Or better yet, put it on a wall of stone. A wall shouldn't be able to wear gloves, but in Magic it can. Tangleweave Armor. Since Havi's mana cost is 6, this gives you a 6/6 creature for 4 mana. Later, it can move on to something else and give it +6/+6. And Vanquisher's Axe. Just an axe. White is pretty good at destroying a wide variety of things, so you'll see mostly white spells here. That's the approach I like to take to multicolored decks. I let each color do what it does best. Break Ties. If you don't want to destroy anything with this, you can use it to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. Citizen's Crowbar. This is a disenchant on a stick, an actual stick. Desert Twister. This costs quite a bit to cast, but its versatility and the fact that it's the color of ramp makes it a great spell in my opinion. Expel. Fate Forgotten. Legion's Judgment. Make Your Move. Swallow Whole. Swift Response, and Valorous Stance. For the ramp section, I decided to go with a lot of mana dorks. Deathbloom Gardener, Hard Bristle Bandit, Humble Naturalist, Reclusive Taxidermist, Rift Sower, Rosethorn Acolyte / Seasonal Ritual, 3-Tree Rootweaver, Underseller Myconid, Weaver of Blossoms / Blossom-Clad Werewolf, and Woe's Pathfinder. Brass Squire. This little guy makes sense here. He taps to equip something onto someone. Sculpting Steel. This can be a second Tangleweave Armor, or maybe it could copy your opponent's Jeweled Lotus. Sunglasses of Urza. This is a very unique card that I think could work well in a red and white deck. Your white mana can be used as red mana. And Tranquil Grove. Because I wanted to include this card in this deck, I didn't put any other enchantments in it. That way, it's a repeatable, one-sided board wipe for enchantments. Since I have a creature in this deck that has landfall, I put a lot of lands that sacrifice to tutor for other lands. We got forests, mountains, and plains, of course, blossoming sands, evolving wilds, Naya Panorama, rugged highlands, sheltering landscape, terramorphic expanse, and windscarred crag. And that is it. That is my Havi, the All-Father deck. What do you think? I just kind of threw this together yesterday, yesterday and today. So be kind, rewind, and I'll see you next time.